If you're chasing that $1 million retirement mark, it might be time to reconsider. Only 1 in 3 millionaires feel wealthy, according to the 2024 survey from Northwestern Mutual. Now, it's pretty interesting because feeling wealthy is a lot less about what is in your bank account versus more of your attitude towards the money you already have. This is where the shift in the mindset comes from, and the problem does arise from there. Now, in today's video, we're going to be looking at 3 money moves you can make to make you feel wealthy in today's economy. When you start thinking about this, wealth is a relative term. It is going to be something that is entirely different for different people. A lot of people that live frugal feel like they're very wealthy. They have time, they have the ability and the flexibility to do and have the experiences they want to, having them and really feeling wealthy. The good news is the path for anyone at any budget can supercharge their money confidence with going through these steps. Now, the first one, embrace your personal financial journey. Now, for me personally, as a financial counselor, this is very unique to every single person that I sit down with. When you look at what they have, $1 million, $5 million, $10 million in a savings account, an investment account, the savings goal can vary greatly from person to person, and a round dollar figure is not the answer. Your answer when it comes to your financial goals shouldn't be a dollar amount. It should be more about what kind of life do you want to experience when you are retired? This gets into the well-known fact that through individualized wealth strategies, strategic targets, looking at very specific goals and putting concrete things in place to personalize and really achieve those wins with those financial goals, this approach refocuses the mindset and maximizing what you can do with your money versus accumulating all the money. So a lot of people really hoard it like Scrooge McDuck. They don't use or have any of the experiences. They're not going on vacations. They're not enjoying their money. Now, I'm not saying go out there and overspend and really, live to every dollar you make, but there has to be a point where you have to enjoy life and being able to, let's say, take your family, take your kids, take your grandkids on vacation, the life experiences that come with it. And this, of course, is going to be built around those very specific goals. When you start thinking of what do you want to achieve to retirement or getting towards retirement, most people automatically put a price tag on it. I want to have $1.5 million when I retire. Okay, that's great. We know the dollar amount, but what do you want retirement to look like regardless of money? When you set money aside, you can really change a strategy and see exactly what it means to you. Now, the second one, taking advantage of time. This is something when you're in your 20s and 30s, you don't have a ton of cash on hand, you don't have the ability to invest. However, you do have an asset, and that is time. If you start investing early, when you start investing consistently, time compounding interest can turn a very small amount of money into a giant pile of money. You don't need $1 million today. You might need $1 million when you are 20 or 30 years down the road, just because it grows over time. That is something to always keep in mind. And even when you think about some of the contributions like 401k, putting 10% or 15% away today might seem like a lot, but trust me, the future you is going to thank you. When you set up those payroll deductions that are automatically going into that 401k, it is going to make a big difference. When you have the processes in place, you don't even have to worry about it anymore. It in turn, if you're investing at a young age, you are buying time in the future. Even with small contributions, it can make a huge impact over the long term. And you are buying time in the future. You are buying time, again, with your kids, with your grandkids, with retirement. Being able to have a flexible lifestyle when you get to retirement is what you're buying when you look at today. And the third one, working with a financial pro. Now this, I do have some qualms about it because exactly what the definition of a financial pro could be, when you start getting north of $1 million, and a lot of people will accumulate the assets and not know what to do with it at any level of income, whether you're $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, don't know exactly how much you have, don't know exactly how much you can spend, don't know exactly where your money can come. Now, this is where financial planning comes into play. This is when sitting down with someone and really coming up with a plan. And this is where, with my financial advisor, we do quite a bit of this. When we see people who are getting for retirement or getting ready to retire, this is where it really comes in saying, hey, I've saved $500,000. This is the lifestyle I want. This is what I'm going to be getting from Social Security. This is what I'm getting from a pension, from my 401k, out of my RMDs. whatever it may be. What does it look like putting the numbers together in what you want to do in life? Does it mean the elimination of debt so you can free up some cash flow? Really coming up with a plan and determining how to best allocate the resources that you do have for retirement. That way you don't run out. I don't like seeing people that, retire at 65 or 67. By the time they're 75 or 80, they're unable to do really whatever they want because they've used and burned through all the retirement funds. They are only reliant on Social Security. They're a little bit too old to go back to work. Some people can, some people, health-wise cannot. So really focusing on what you can do with what you have right now. And of course, the biggest value financial planners really provide is keeping you on track and focusing on the goals. Now, for a lot of people, you can do this yourself. You can come up with your own financial goals, having an accountability partner, but really knowing, and again, I like the individualized strategy, the individualized attention, but a lot of times this comes with a very big price tag. And for a lot of people, that very big price tag can be very detrimental when it comes to 3, 5, 7,000 or 1% of your portfolio on an annual basis. Now, of course, when you start looking at the core of what financial planning is and really the education, trying to make your money work the best for you. How does it make sense? How does it go? Even looking at the FOO, the financial order of operations, really knowing exactly where you should be putting your money, that you're saving for retirement, if you want to buy a house, if you want to send your kids to college, feeling less anxiety about money because you know exactly what you're doing with it. You know what the roadmap looks like. You know exactly you're going to have enough money till retirement. Now, of course, for a lot of people, it can even be smaller goals. Whether it is the small wins helping you feel a lot wealthier, this could be as big as improving your credit score, finally getting your dream job, paying for your child's education, but it could also be as small as still continuing to set up some automated processes, making the monthly bills and making your life easier. When you start thinking about easier, when we start talking about automation, this is the reason when you think of 401k contributions, that is something you should absolutely automate. When you start looking at an HSA, if you have one available, high deductible healthcare plans, putting money automatically in that HSA account. If you don't have those and you're doing a IRA, putting money automatically in that IRA account, and so on and so forth. You can see with not only the automation, it makes it super easy because you're getting a lot of time back, which is exactly what you cannot pay for. Regardless of how much money you got, if you're a billionaire, if you're Warren Buffett, there's going to be a day in time that unfortunately there will be no more time for all of us. I know it's a little morbid to think about, but it's going to come. And there will be a time where you're going to look back. And of course, when you think about the regrets of the dying, when you look at, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have done this. This is the time when you can take your life. You have the monetary ability if you do have money saved, having a plan and knowing exactly what you're going to do and what you love to do. Guys, life is about living. Life is not about, again, hoarding money like Scrooge McDuck, having everything in one place and not being willing to share it all. Now, one of the big things I know Dave Ramsey talks about is being generous with your income. When you have the ability and you have the ability to give and be very generous, it is a life-changing experience. Even if you don't have the monetary abilities, value the time. If you can volunteer in different places, if you can spend your time, it is kind of crazy to think how much of an impact that it can have on your life when you do show gratitude in a bunch of different places. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. 3 money moves you can make today to feel wealthy. Let me know in the comments what you think about them. And as always, thank you guys for watching.